it's nothing. Gets my heart running, lips hypnotizing, escaping, yeah. And I can't find no one else to cool me down, to cool me down. Cause I get so hot each time you come around. You come around. Yeah, you give me that this. Yeah, you give me that this. All night put it in work. All night put it in work. Yeah, you give me that this. Yeah, you give me that this. All night put it in work. Never put it in reverse. Yeah, you give me that thirst. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. You could be far away. I could just say your name. It gives me fever. No breaking. You got the power. Come and devour. I am all yours for the taking. Yeah, yeah. And I can't find no one else to cool me down. To cool me down, yeah. Cause I get so hot each time you come around. You come around, yeah, you give me that this. Yeah, you give me that this. All night put it in work. All night put it in work. You got me putting in work, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you give me that this. All night put it in work. Never put it in reverse. Never put it in reverse. Yeah, yeah. All night put it in work. All night put it in work. Yeah, you give me that this. Yeah, you give me that this. All night put it in work. Never put it in reverse. Yeah, you give me that. Yeah, you give me that thirst. Yeah, you give me that thirst. All night put it in work. All night put it in work. Yeah, you give me that thirst. Yeah, you give me that thirst. All night put it in work. Never put it in reverse. Never. Yeah, you give me that thirst. All night put it in work. Said I drink when you water. All night do anything that you wanna. Yeah, you give me that thirst. Yeah, you give me let your love flow into me. Yeah, yeah. Never put it in reverse. Yeah, you give me that thirst. Yeah, give me that thirst. Oh, Did you give me that thirst, baby? Years on the planet, grew up listening to Michael and Janet. Starry-eyed kid in pajamas, thinking one day. A steady diet of Brandy and Luther, Kimberell and Tony. I got used to burn so many songs from my computer, thinking one day. Told my mama that I wanna be a singer. Told my daddy I'm a hell of a producer. Told my sister I'ma mean something to you maybe one day. Just you wait, and it's gonna be my time. And everyone will learn that God's timing is better. Just you wait, and it will all make sense. And all the time we spent thinking it couldn't get better, it got better. Man, the last few years been kinda lonely, and even when I get to chill with the homies.
Smooth talk, R&B, and soul. It's your boy Q Christopher in the building with Tati Danny as she's smiling, giggling over there.
What's up?
This is Nocturnal
You
Vibes,
good?
baby.
You chilling?
I'm great. I'm just a little upset that you don't like my shirt though.
Oh,
It's like
it's
a little,
okay.
it's like a little Bill Cosby t-shirt, not a sweater.
I don't know if we want to make those comparisons right now.
I mean, I'm talking about the brother's clothes, not his personality or his bad habits.
Or
So what's good?
alleged bad habits.
How was
right?
your week? Right, alleged.
It
was
was
your week?
It was a rough week.
Was
I'm
it?
ready for it to be over.
Seriously.
It was a rough week.
Talk about it. No, don't talk about
No,
it.
I don't
had a
want to
great
talk
week.
about it because Nocturnal Vibes is separate from my week. You
I
feel
hear
me?
that. I hear that. But I must tell you about my week. I spent it in Florida.
Okay. What
Yeah.
part?
Family reunion, Fort Lauderdale.
Lit.
Let me tell you something.
Mhm.
I met a set of people that I will never forget. They've just automatically meshed. Well, I mean, this is new family pretty much. So shout out to my new family, Montague.
Shout out to the fam.
Yeah.
They coming to
yeah.
Brooklyn? Did
Yeah,
you convince them to
some
come
of,
to
some of
Brooklyn?
some of them actually live in Brooklyn, but they all in
Oh,
Florida and
okay.
Houston. So,
Gotcha.
they're living a life. They're comfortable and they all
Okay.
beautiful.
So I got somewhere to stay if I go to Fort
For
Lauderdale.
sure.
Okay.
For
Shout out
sure.
to the fam.
Shout out to Uncle Nate, Gabby, everybody else.
You
Shout out
told them to
everybody.
tune into
You
Nocturnal
know
Vibes.
they watch it,
Okay.
and especially Auntie Bonita.
Alrighty.
That's my lady right there.
Okay.
That's what's up. But yeah, I had a great weekend. I'll tell you this: if you're ever invited to your family reunion,
Mhm.
just go. You never know exactly what will happen.
Yeah.
But this turned out to
Definitely.
be one of the best things. And I've met actually a couple of artists. I have some cousins that are music artists, so they're definitely going to sit in the chair.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Dallas and Fax and Kelsey.
You can't wait to get back here, huh?
What?
Shout out everybody.
Shout out everybody. It's all love. It's all
That's
love.
good.
That's what's up. But we have a great show for you tonight. Mister A Natural singer and songwriter. This young man is doing big
producer.
things. And producer.
And producer.
We played a couple of his tracks during the beginning of the show.
In the building.
Yeah, so we're gonna chop it
Long
up.
overdue in the building.
Long overdue, right? Indeed. And I was listening to a couple of his tracks, and he got some riffs on there.
Yeah.
Yo,
You gonna mimic them?
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
He gonna hook me up.
We bringing y'all a new segment tonight. Let's
Yeah,
see.
yeah. And also, I also wanna shout out my nephew. Today's his birthday.
Okay.
So shout out to Kirk Gale. He's turns 25 today, sir.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to the nephew.
Quarter of a century.
Yeah, I know he's
You know,
excited.
25 is that age where you like, it just got real.
It just got real.
When I turned 25, it was like, life just got real. You 5 years away from 30. You got to start making some decisions.
I don't know. I'm thinking, what was I thinking at 25?
Well, I guess a guy and a girl are pretty different,
See,
huh?
we're not going to go there tonight.
Okay.
We're not going to go there tonight. But listen, don't go too far. This is Nocturnal Vibes.
Whatever you wanna do, it's fine with me. Baby, get comfortable. My time is free. Go ahead and get open. Maybe we'll just fall in love. Yeah. Maybe we'll just fall. Maybe we'll just fall.
It's the way that you're touching me, babe, makes me lose my mind. Who know when you came to my place? This is how we spend the time. Netflix asking if we're still watching, 'cause you stole all my attention. That's when you parted them lips and said,
Whatever you wanna do,
ooh,
it's fine with me.
we can keep it on the couch and take it to the
Get
bed.
comfortable. My time is free.
Baby, you can beat it down, you can take it.
Open. Maybe we'll just fall in love.
Maybe we'll just fall in love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Maybe we'll just fall in love.
nice and slow. Bodies in the same time. Now I'm deep far as I can go. And you tell me that it's mine. Pulling me closer to the limit. Moving in the TV lights. That's when you parted, then listen, say
Whatever you wanna do, it's fine with me.
baby, leave it in. No, don't you take it out.
Comfortable, my time is free.
We can do it all again. Let's go another round.
Maybe we'll just
Ooh, let's fall in love. Let's fall in love.
Maybe we'll just fall.
Hey, let's go crazy. Keep touching, keep kissing. Have fun, baby. Head over heels. Let's go crazy. Oh.
Yeah, baby. Welcome back to the Nocturnal Suite. I'm your boy Q Christopher and Tati Danny. As we promised, A Natural is in the building.
Welcome.
Now we just played. What was the name of that last song?
That record was called Fall.
Fall.
Yes.
It was a real sexy record.
Yes.
Did you make it in the fall?
Did I make it in the fall? No. I made it in the winter. Winter, early spring.
No.
Yeah.
So what?
Lovey-dovey season.
What season?
Lovey-dovey
Oh,
season.
lovey-dovey. Yeah,
Yeah,
Cuddy.
you know, still kind of warm. I mean, it's still kind of cold outside, so you can make it warm inside.
Right,
Yes.
right. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't necessarily like to compare songs or tracks, but that vibe gave me a Sade vibe, that last track.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
That's a
Just
good
sometimes you
representation.
gotta make sure, individuals are okay with
I
comparing
grew
them.
up on Sade, and I have a whole playlist of pretty much every one of my favorite songs from her. So
Nice,
she's a staple.
nice. So the what was the reason behind this track called The Fall?
So normally I don't really write a lot of sexy songs, and with this particular song, I wanted to go in a certain direction. The beat came to me first, and it felt real sensual, and then the hook came to me, but the verses I was having trouble with, and so I actually I called my brother Lenny Harold to come and help me with them because he specializes in it. Not to say he's a freak or nothing like that, but he just knows how to write a really good song to put people in the mood. And he came over, we started vibing, going back and forth, and I had the melody line, which was actually kind of reminiscent of R. Kelly. And then he was just like, okay. And then he started jotting down ideas, and he was like, it's the way that you touch me, babe, got me losing my mind. And I was like, okay, take it away.
Right.
And initially I was going to sing all the parts, but then on the breakdowns on the B section, I was like, I need another voice in there to really drive the point home. And so then I called my girl, Lauren Ashley, to come in, and she just finessed the record like nobody else could. So
Yeah. That was a real important collaboration for the culture of music.
yes. Like it's a Netflix and chill song. Like if at the beginning, if you hear the Netflix sound, and then pretty much the rest of the song is just that moment when we're watching a movie, and then we're not watching the movie no more.
So this is off the Netflix soundtrack then.
Well, it could be.
Created by A Natural.
It's created by A Natural. Exactly. But I mean, I've had those moments. I don't know about y'all. You watching a movie and then it asks you if you're still watching,
Right.
And at that point, you're not even paying attention.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
I love that. Sounds like it came to you naturally.
Yes.
Indeed. So the
Perfect
name.
segue.
Right. Take it away, Ty. A natural.
Ty.
Tati. My bad.
I'm like confused. Like, nah. So tell me a little bit more background on how you came to A Natural.
So there's it's kind of a funny story. So there's two meanings behind A Natural. Well, I'm sorry. There's three meanings behind A Natural. First of all, my middle name is Aaron, so that's where you get the A from.
Okay.
But there's a long meaning. I'll give you guys the long meaning first, and then the short meaning after. The long meaning is in music, when you have a note that is sharp or flat, you add a natural sign to bring it back to its original key. And so I apply that to my life to mean that whenever I stray off the path that God has for me, that He is the natural sign that brings me back to where I'm supposed to be. That gets a lot of claps on
That
stage.
sounds real deep.
It usually gets a lot of claps on stage, a couple of amens.
Oh, wow.
But then the real reason is because the key of A is the only one that I know how to play in.
Oh, interesting.
So there's a lot of transposing that goes on when I'm playing keys.
Whenever I think of it, though, I say a natural. Like you're a natural at
You know,
that.
it's crazy because writing it, everybody has their own interpretation. So it's either unnatural, sometimes it's a natural, which I hate when people do that. But it really is a natural because I'm a natural at what I do.
Right.
But yeah, that's really it. It's simple to me. I have it tatted on me. This is the symbol that I created for it.
Aw. What is it? Can you
It's
describe
the A right here. Let me show the fans. You got the A and then the natural sign in the corner.
I've always wondered what that was.
Yeah, I did it when I was 21 because I've
Okay.
had this name since then, and I haven't really wanted to change it. I feel like, you know, when you've embraced something that you know is going to be you, first of all, never tat anything that you think that you're going to outlive.
Yeah.
And I felt like, you know, this is my name. It means a lot to me, so I'm going to get this tatted on me, and it's been my name ever since.
So tell me a little bit more about your aesthetic.
My aesthetic.
Like, with your, you know, with your branding and everything like that. You have the blonde hair. They can't see it right now, but tell me a little bit more about it.
I'm gonna be honest, like my brand has changed. Originally I was a gospel singer, still under the name A Natural. But when I got older, I decided that the message kind of transcended that. And while I still hold very closely to my beliefs, there's still other stories to tell, whether it be my own stories or somebody else's stories. And I feel like the music represents that, and then my look also needs to represent that. I mean, I've always been a big dude, but I've never carried myself heavy, if that makes sense. Like, I have always been, like, you know, very proud of who I am and very confident. And I guess the blonde hair was just to kind of exude that confidence and make sure that I stood out and let everybody know that, you know, I am somebody special, not in a cocky sense, but that I really value the gift that God gave me, and I want to put it on display.
I like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Along with the this package of pretty much what you have on stage, your package on stage, there is the business side of it. Now, explain how important it is and what you do to make sure that all of your business is correct.
Well, first off, at this point right now in my life, my business is mine. And I've always had the dream of maybe having my own record label or being a record label head. But I think that in today's day and age, specifically for Black people, it's best that we have our own. Something that we can call our own, writing as least amount of checks as possible. And I feel like I've done a lot of work over the last several years independently that I can now proudly say that my business is my own. I mean, I've run a company, I've managed artists, I have produced artists, and that has been very lucrative as far as opening doors and training me on the business.
Right.
But now that I'm stepping out into the artist field, it's time for me to apply all the stuff that I've learned doing that to myself.
Nice.
You know, so I have invested wholly in myself, making sure that I can get the things done that I need to get done, so that it's not just, you know, a hobby, or it looks like it was a hobby or something that was just put together last night. It needs to look like it's something that can rival what's on in the industry right now. So I'm paying for my music videos. I'm paying for my photography. I'm paying to get everything.
It's an investment.
Yeah. And if you don't invest in yourself, who's going to invest in you?
Exactly.
You know, so, and I might not be seeing the financial return on it just right now, but I'm definitely seeing the return as far as the notoriety and the buzz and my name getting out there. So
that's what's up.
Yeah,
that's what's up. Competitions, reality shows. You ever thought about jumping on the stage? Maybe The Four or The Voice?
So I did audition for a couple of things a long time ago, and it's interesting that The Four is on right now because I actually auditioned for Puffy for the Making the Band series, not making his band, but making the band. And out of 20,000 singers, I made it to the top 10. Top 12.
Okay.
To the finals of that audition period, and then they cut me. But it was an experience, and it was something that I told myself I would never ever do again. But I will say that this last season of The Four was kind of difficult for me to deal with because I don't really watch those shows.
Okay.
But then I saw that two people that I know personally that I've worked with are on the show, and it put me in a weird space. And then also seeing the notoriety that they were able to get from being on the show, I'm like, well, do I need to do that? Right. I actually was kind of approached by somebody to be on the show, and I kind of shied away from it. I won't say never, but right now that's not where I'm headed.
I feel you.
Okay.
I mean, everybody has their own thing, but I feel what you can get out of it, like you said, is the notoriety. Yeah. It's a good stage, a good platform.
Exactly.
People know you. You just sit the three judges. They know you. They know who you are. So if they hear you again, they're definitely going to respond. Right. So I mean, yeah, to each his own, of course. Absolutely. But shout out to Ali Caldwell.
Yes.
She was killing it on the Four.
Yes.
She powerhouse. I think she did Patti LaBelle and maybe Shaka
Mary J.
Khan.
Blige.
Mary J. Blige. Yeah, she killed Mary J. Blige. No more drama.
Ali is a really good friend of mine. She actually featured on my last album last year on a song called Generous. Yep. She and I have done a ton of work together, and she's a hometown hero for me. So like seeing her up there killing it week to week is just very inspiring. But then on the flip side of that, my girl Whitney Rain was on there too. And it was just crazy seeing her there, and she was killing it. And then Ali wound up booting her out of her seat, and I felt so bad, and I was torn. But apparently tonight, Whitney just booted Ali, so I'm just like, I don't know how to feel. Yeah. But I will say that both of them are definitely stars in their own right. Some of the hardest working people that I've ever met, some of the nicest people that I've ever met, some of the dopest women that you'll ever meet, some of the most beautiful women that you'll ever meet as well. And I know that they're both destined for all kinds of greatness. So.
Yeah. One of the things that Puffy said on the show, he said, when you hit this stage, you better come correct. You better be ready.
Yes.
And it's no excuses. This is a platform like this is pretty much ready made for you. No one had this, and I listen to that. And he says that a lot, and it's 100% true, man. Like you definitely got to be ready. This is a stage you cannot play with if you want this prize.
To be honest, that's why I didn't want to do the show.
Okay.
Because I don't feel like I don't want to say that I'm not ready. I don't think I'm ready to be singing on TV the way that they do it week to week. It's a whole different type of game. And I know my voice is great, but it's not necessarily something that I could see being on TV. I don't know. It's weird. And I feel like also TV might cheapen it a little bit because there's something about discovering an artist on your own, finding out their obscure music, and then just falling in love with them outside of everybody else telling you that you're supposed to like them.
That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah. I mean, some of my favorite artists I found that way, and they might have blown up later on, but I like having that intimate space of me and you, and this song is just the three of us.
It's authentic.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very authentic.
And people have discovered my music the same way, so it could be a benefit, but it could also be a curse. I mean, I would challenge anybody to name the last few winners of any reality singing competition show. Yeah.
Or where they are right now.
Exactly.
If they can,
the last people that anybody really remembers is Fantasia, Jennifer Hudson, even though she didn't win, but it's not a lot.
Like, where are the Ruben Studdards of the world?
Right, where is Ruben Studdard? And shout out to Ruben because he's dope, but you don't see these people every day.
Because of these, is it because they caught up in contracts that they can't, move away and do something on social media, YouTube? Like, there's other platforms.
There are other platforms. Some of them do have stringent contracts where it's like you can't do anything for 3 or 4 years. But then some of them,
like 10, 15 years now.
And that's the thing. But again, these shows are about ratings, and they're about the public, and they're about selling products. And once the show has done its job, there's no need for them to push the artists that were on the show.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
which is really unfortunate because, as you mentioned, I think, you know, it cheapens their brand too. You know, with a lot, I know with a lot of covers, like they're doing covers, I don't really think that the public is privy to their actual music. They just say, oh, I like the way she sings this song, or I like the way she sings that song, but won't give the artist's music the time of day.
Well, I also believe it depends on the push. Like if the label wants to invest and put money on you, they'll do it.
Yeah.
You know, and they see something, they'll do it. And they're, like you say, you know, they force you to like a song or artist because they actually see potential. So it's, you know, it's all a business. It's all marketing.
It's all
schemes.
image too.
And of course,
All
it has to
in
be
who they
right.
can market.
I mean, one of the things that I strive for myself was to always make sure that I put out my sound. And if I'm writing a song, if I'm doing a cover song, it's still got to reflect who I am as an artist. So, you know, starting out, I'm always at an open mic. You know, I was always trying to go to an open mic and sing as much as I can. But when you're doing open mics, you're not singing your own stuff. You're always singing someone else's song. And sometimes you can get trapped in that, where you become a karaoke star.
Right.
And so I kind of made a conscious decision, like, okay, when I go out now, I'm only singing my stuff. I might do one cover song, but you're still going to hear my original material. Because number one, that's the essence of who I am. And you're not going to get a true sense of who I am unless you're hearing my songs. And that's what these shows, they do. They lock you into perceptions of comparisons of other artists because you're always singing their songs. Like if somebody gets up and sings a Whitney Houston song, immediately going to compare it to what Whitney did instead of trying to figure out who this artist is. And if they hit one off note, or if they don't do the riff just like Whitney did, then I can't really mess with you now because you're not Whitney.
Yeah.
If I'm singing my own song, and number one, the song has to be dope. If I'm singing my own song, then you have nothing else to compare it to. You know, and then you get to really find out who I am and introduce yourself to me authentically, like you said before.
Are you familiar with record labels and how easy is it or not to start a record label?
Yes. To start a record label,
Yeah.
it's very easy to start a label.
Okay.
It's hard to sustain one, and it's hard to get a deal. Because I have my own label. And really all you have to do is register your business with, you know, whatever government, and you have your company. But as far as sustaining a label, it really is about making sure you have the right roster of artists and the right sound that you're putting out and the right promotion behind it. With my own label, I found that it was easier for me to introduce the label by becoming the face of the sound. I have no problem working with artists, but it also tends to be a little difficult trying to work with artists and also being one. My goal is to solidify myself as an artist, solidify the sound in people's ears. So then when I try to introduce other artists to them from the label, they're already going to welcome it with open doors because they trust the sound.
Right.
Yeah.
They know your work.
Exactly.
Now, if you were forced, because you are a jack of all trades, if you were forced to choose one, which would it be?
I've been forced to choose one before, and it never really worked out that well. Because I always feel like if I try to just wear one hat, then the other hats suffer. But I think if I couldn't sing again, if something happened to my throat, or if something happened to, you know, my ability to produce or something like that, I would just be a writer. And whether it's songs or even journalism, I've always loved writing, and I've always loved playing with the English language and using my words and everything like that. That's what I would do. I would just write. I have no problem writing for other people. Like, I love doing that.
What about singing in front of people? Right, like right now.
Like singing right now?
Like right now.
You want me to sing right now? Oh my God.
On the spot. Can we go to a break first?
I was about to
Let's
say,
do that so I can get a little, you know, water.
Prepare him.
Come on, this is yo, you gotta be
A
prepared.
natural, gotta be prepared, right?
Gotta be ready, baby. All right, listen, don't go too far. More with A Natural.
Your conversation, your elevation takes me to places I've never been. You're sweet as nothing, can't find no one else to cool me down. To cool me down. 'Cause I get so hot each time you come around. You come around. Yeah, you give me that thirst. Yeah, you give me that thirst. All night put it in work. All night put it in work. Yeah, you give me that thirst. Yeah, you give me that thirst. All night put it in work. Never put it in reverse. Yeah, you give me that thirst. Eh. Oh yeah, yeah. You could be far away. I could just say your name. It gives me fever. No breaking. You got the power. Come and devour. I am all yours for the taking. Yeah, yeah. And I can't find no one else to cool me down. To cool me down, yeah. 'Cause I get so hot each time you come around. You come around, yeah, you give me that thirst. Yeah, you give me that thirst. All night put it in work. All night put it in work. You got me putting in work, yeah, yeah. You give me that thirst. All night put it in work. Never put it in reverse. Never put it in reverse. Yeah, yeah. All night put it in work. All night. All night. Yeah, you give me that thirst. Yeah, you give me that thirst. All night put it in work. Never put it in reverse. Yeah, 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 you give me that thirst. All night put it in work. Yeah, you give me that thirst. Yeah, you give me that thirst. All night put it in work. Never put it in reverse. Never. Yeah, you give me that thirst. All night put it in work. Said I drink when you wanna. Do anything that you wanna. Yeah, you give me that thirst. Yeah, you give me let your love flow into me. Yeah, you give me that thirst. Yeah, give me that thirst. Did you give me that thirst, baby?
Yeah, yeah. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. My headphones is on. My bad.
Get it together. This is Nocturnal Vibes.
You gotta go deeper. You gotta go deeper.
I can't. I'm a
So,
woman.
A Natural, what are you gonna say?
I'm a lady.
It'd be crazy if I did a cover song, right?
We done just talked about all
Exactly.
that.
Let's see. So my new go-to. Oh my God! I tell you guys, I had to do another interview a couple of weeks ago, and it was, I think it was in Harlem.
And you didn't like the people?
No,
I'm joking.
no. What
Nobody
it was
doper
is that
than us.
I got stuck on the New Jersey Transit, and it was me and my brother Authentic. We were on our way to the interview, and I was trying to get there early, and we got on the train, pulled into the station, and then the train just shut off. And mind you, it was like 90-something degrees that day. And it was crazy because the train was just sitting there and we're like, what is going on? And the conductor gets on and he's like, we're waiting for the rescue train to come and get everybody. Just sit tight. We've had an engine failure. And I'm like, okay. So my boy Authentic starts tweeting about it. And then he starts promoting what I should be doing, which is the interview. And somebody else on the train was like, yeah, there's somebody on the train who's supposed to be going to a radio interview right now. And I was like, yeah, that would be me. And they were like, well, what do you do? I was like, well, I'm a singer. And they said, well, sing something. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Because, New York people, they get a little crazy on the train. People start performing. But they're like, no, we want to hear it. So I just sang the song Better. So I'll sing a little bit of that, I guess.
Nice. I like that.
Let's see.
Can I join you while you sing?
I mean,
Backup vocals.
First of all, you don't
I'm
even know the
feeling-
words.
it may throw me a little off, but maybe at the end I'll let you do a little ooh or something. So, just you wait, and it will be my turn, and everyone will learn that God's timing is better. Just you wait, and it will all make sense. And all the time we spend thinking it couldn't get better, it got better, yeah. That's cool.
Ooh.
That's
oh,
it?
There you go. I mean, you know, it is. We got a lot of music to play. I got 2 shows to do. I can't do too much. You know,
Yeah, I feel
gotta
you.
save a little
I
bit of
feel
the
you.
notes.
Save the
So,
vocals.
if you want to hear
got some
more
tea for
better,
you.
come out to Lincoln Park Festival.
Yes, I will be at Lincoln Park Music Festival in Newark tomorrow at 8:00. I'm super excited because this is the biggest show that I've ever done.
Wow.
I've always dreamt of doing like a festival situation, whether it was somebody on the stage doing a song that I wrote or whether it be me. And I finally get to do that tomorrow night. So I'm super excited. It starts at 8:00 in Newark, Lincoln Park Music Festival right on Broad Street. And then right after that, I'll be back here in New York on Saturday night at the Sugar Bar doing the soul set with everybody from the Hype NYC. So I'm excited about that as well.
Nice. So what do you typically do before a show? What's your preparation?
Usually I'm rushing to get there. I really try to just like tell myself that I'm okay. Regardless of how the show goes, I tell myself like regardless of how your vocals might sound, regardless of the crowd's reaction, you're still going to be okay after the show. And I think that's what makes me not be nervous anymore when I do these shows. Plus, I also have my brothers that really support me. They've been coming out to a lot of things with me as well. And they've kind of got it in my head, like regardless of what stage you're on, you give everything, you kill it, and leave everything on the stage. And for the last several months, now that I've been promoting this project, every show I've literally been killing it and just leaving it all on the stage. Okay. So that's my prep, is just telling myself like, you good, you got this.
Nice. So do you need a hype man tomorrow?
I'm thinking about my set list. I'm not doing any of the hype songs. Okay. So
just check.
I mean,
you on deck?
I'm saying. Though,
I mean, if you're gonna be there and you want to like run around the crowd and be like, "Yo, get it," like I have no problem with that at all. There is no pay. I just want to make sure that's understood.
Well, it is what it is, So.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, I understand is that you hear different stories as far as preparation and starting vocals. So vocally, what do you do? Is there any preparation for vocals?
I've got my warm ups that I do. I have a weird vocal warm-up CD that I got from a friend of mine back in church several years ago.
Let's do it right now.
Okay.
Come on, let's do it. Come on, Tati, you ready?
For real? You really want to do this?
Little vocal warm.
Well,
All right.
you know, I know a little vocal stuff because I did do music
I
theater.
haven't heard you sing that one thing yet.
What?
I haven't heard you sing.
I've done musical theater.
You tell me this now.
I've had
I've
solos in musical theater.
So I'll do a simple one then, even though it's actually really, really hard to do.
Okay.
Because it really challenges your breathing, and I'm not even sitting properly, so I can do it right. But
All right, so should we all sit properly?
yeah, sit on
Is
the
this
edge of
a
your chair.
tutorial?
Make sure your back is straight.
Okay.
All right. Let me see if I can do this right. We'll start low and we'll go up a couple times. So.
It's a shirt.
All right, here we go. Ma me mi mo mu. Ma me. Whoa, that is a different note.
What you thought you was gonna hear, bro?
I didn't know what I was gonna hear. I just knew I was gonna hear something. Let's try a different one.
Well, in
The
musical
speakers still
theater,
work.
we did Mama Made Me Mo Moo Moo Moo.
Mm-hmm.
Mama Made Me, and you just got to do like different,
Yeah, keep going up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, to be honest with you, that I don't do it before every show.
Mm-hmm.
What I really try to do, if I know I'm gonna do like a big show, like a long concert, like for when I did Rockwood Music Hall, I definitely vocalized and did all my warm ups and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly what I'll do is shut up for the entire day and stop talking. No dairy because that clogs up your throat. Drink a lot of water. No sodas. Try to watch what I'm eating before. Like when I was younger, I used to be really bad. I would go to the Village Underground in down on 4th Street, and there's a McDonald's right next door. And to calm my nerves, I would always get a cheeseburger, which is probably why I have this right now. But I stopped doing that. But the grease from the cheeseburger actually used to coat my throat and make me sing better.
Wow.
My brother used to eat French fries, and that would help him because the salt would do something that actually get his voice
chips
going.
too.
Exactly, potato chips.
Really?
A little secret: Mac Wiles does that in the studio.
Nice.
He eats potato chips before every session. So yeah, but now it's just making sure that I take care of my voice, and I know if I've got to push, then I really try to just be quiet or just talk on top of my voice. Like we learned that from the Jacksons. So like Michael Jackson, LaToya, Janet, all them, those are not their real voices. They talk like, "Hi, my name is Michael Jackson, and I'd like to, sing for you today." And then they go out and they just start screaming. Yeah. But their real voices are low like ours. Like, I don't know if you ever heard Michael Jackson's real voice.
No.
Probably not.
Yeah. Listen to Invincible. There's a song on there called 2,000 Watts. You hear his real voice. Yeah, it's crazy.
Gotta check
a little tidbit.
Yes.
So you, besides, we just played Thirst.
Yes.
Talk about Thirst.
So Thirst came to me because, honestly, and you'll hear this on the EP, which is called #COAOAFB2, which is a continuation of the album that I released last year, The Chronicles of an Overambitious Fat Boy. That's a lot of info to take in, but go to the website, you'll find it out. Thirst came to me because of Black Panther.
Okay.
Knowing that the movie was coming out, and then when the movie actually came out, my Black pride level was on like 3,000 trillion million. And I know that Wakanda is a fictional place, but the stuff that it just did to your mentals and the visuals and just the way that you felt pride in your people, like I was like, I have no choice but to do something African sounding. And my parents are, they're musicians as well, and they always would play around with African sounds, and my mother, would write songs like that, and my father would produce songs like that, and it was always natural for me to do it, but I had never done it like this before. And there's a couple of sounds like that on the album that I released last year, but for some reason I wanted to like really make sure that we went to Africa on this song. And so if you listen to the song, there's a little bit of Kosa in the lyrics. It's real far in the back because I don't know if I was saying it right. So, but the word thirst is in the background, and they were speaking Kosa in Black Panther, so that also inspired some of it as well. And then I was just like, thirst is a term for all the thirsty dudes that be on Instagram and the DMs and stuff. So, and if you see a good looking person, they give you that thirst, and why not sing about it? And all truth, it is about a specific person. I won't say who it is, but
Come on,
they know who it is.
Make it exclusive.
They know who it is. I won't say their name; they'll be pissed. But it is about a person. Yeah.
They might want some coin from that, so it'd be easy.
Shut up.
Yeah, no.
Their name's not even in the song.
If they know who they are.
So what?
Like,
So what? They're
Yeah.
assuming.
Yo,
You
like-
know what they say about assumptions.
Like, whatchamacallit? Damon Dash rolled up
What
on
mama
Daniel
always
Lee.
tell you about assumptions, Q.
Listen, you see how Damon Dash rolled up on Daniel Lee? He was like, yo, it's good, son.
Exactly. He's like, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give you the money. But yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about like your projects, and I know that you did something big today. So
Oh my God, yes. Okay. So last year, and it's been a dream of mine to do this, and it's a dream of a lot of different artists, but a lot of artists don't know how to do it, which is to
School them real quick, yo. Go ahead.
I mean, the information is out there. It's just about making sure you look for it.
Absolutely.
But I've always wanted to win a Grammy. And as I got older, that dream started to be not as important as, the music itself. But I also was noticing that the scope or the landscape of music was also changing, and it had nothing to do with me. And I wanted to make sure that I could have a voice in how music was changing. So last year I applied and got my membership to be on the voting board of the Grammys. Last year I was able to vote, and this year is special because I can not only vote, but I can also submit.
Wow.
And so I
Congratulations, brother. That's big, man. Come on, son.
Yes.
Thank you.
so I actually yesterday I got my submission packet together.
Wow.
I put my EP in it. I also put my last music video for a song that I have called Blow It Down. I submitted that for best video. And I mean, let's be realistic. Out of thousands and thousands of musicians and stuff that are out there, it's a very small chance that I might win anything. But just the fact that I'm able to submit music and have people of affluence hear it and possibly vote on it to either get it nominated or for it to even win is just amazing. And the fact that I can submit my stuff and also vote for it also is dope as well.
Yeah. Now let me ask, does the voting are you placed in like a specific category, or how does that process
Yes.
go? Okay.
So I did not submit for, the top 4, which is like, best artist and pop song or best song or stuff like that. I didn't want to do that because
Country. Best country song.
no shade. There's a song that I have that I wrote for my brother, Lenny Harold. It's called Stop Time.
This is how talented I know he is. See?
The thing about it is that the song technically is really a country song. It's just that it didn't make the cutoff for this year for me to submit it because we released it 2 years ago. But I can do country. I have done country before. But I submitted for best R&B album. I submitted for best urban contemporary artist. I submitted several songs for best performance. And then I also submitted for best music video.
Nice.
So we all going to touch and agree
Listen,
right now.
listen. I mean, my thing is I just want to like I said, I want to change the atmosphere of music. And if I can do it little by little, I can. And this is also just the first round. So what happens next month is they open it up to later projects that are released. So I can now submit some of my friends' projects as well.
Nice.
And that's the whole point, is to make sure that everybody gets a chance.
And
so.
just like the notoriety, A Natural Grammy nominated. Like I already,
I mean,
just
that will
put
open
that
up
out
some
in the
doors.
atmosphere. We just putting it out there, and it's not gonna return void.
I would love for that to happen.
Yes,
I'm not
absolutely.
gonna, I'm not gonna shy away from it. That would definitely open up some doors. So
Absolutely.
In between all this greatness, like, how do you balance? How do you do your me time?
My me time, and I know I keep bringing up my brothers, but recently, they have been my backbone. My circle of friends really has been my backbone over the last few years for me. And most recently, my best friend, Lenny Harold, his birthday was on Sunday. And
Shout out Lenny. Happy birthday.
Shout out
Lenny.
to the brother.
Me, Lenny, our other brother, Authentic, and then my sister, KT. We all went out for Lenny's birthday, and I'm about to tell him myself on this this interview, but that's what I love doing, is hanging out with them, whether it be at a restaurant or going to movies or just chilling at the house. Like, this is what we do.
Nice.
And we just had a moment, because I don't think people tell each other how they love each other, how they appreciate each other. And I wanted to take that day specifically to go around the table at this dope vegan restaurant and just tell each other how much we appreciate each other. And it got to the point where I got to KT and I was like, you taught me how to be a friend.
Wow.
Because she's been through so much and she's never wavered in her friendship towards me. And I literally I broke down and I started crying because it just moved me. And then we all just went around the table saying the same things about each other. And that's what I love doing. So that's my me time. I know it sounds crazy, but it's
beautiful, man.
when I'm not at work or when I'm not doing music, I want that energy.
Yes.
So
Tati,
What's up?
I love you.
I love you too.
It's beautiful. I mean, the support is needed.
Yes.
And whatever circle you're in, support is needed. Just recently, Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child went to.
Yeah,
Drawing a blank.
she went to rehab.
Not
No.
rehab.
No,
She went to a
Psych ward
Yeah, she went to a psych ward
Yeah.
because of depression.
because of depression. I'm
And
sorry.
Demi
Just drew a blank.
Lovato, right?
Demi
Demi
Lovato.
Lovato. It's just really disheartening. It's the spirit. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
It's the spirit of sadness right
Yeah.
now, and depression and
It's
all
really
of
high.
that.
It
It's
is
at
really
an
high.
all-time high.
Very much so.
Where we're losing so many important people, and it's not cool. Suicide is at an all-time high
Very
right
much
now,
so.
I think.
There's an artist by the name of Darius Scott. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. Amazing guy, amazing artist and singer and writer producer. He was on Instagram Live maybe about a couple of months ago, And he said something so simple that was still so profound. And he was like, people, check on your artist friends. Call them up and say, hey, you want to go to the movies? You want to go to dinner? Let's go get something to eat. Let's just chill. Because those small things can literally save their life, because you never know what somebody's going through. Especially our creative people, because we give so much of ourselves creatively and nobody really puts back into us, because people just want the music. They just want the sound. They just want those songs. But who's actually pouring that back into us? So we need to be checked up on sometimes. And, you know, somebody like Michelle, you would think that she has everything. She was in Destiny's Child. She just got engaged. Like, she's living her best life, but you don't know what she's going through. Demi Lovato just put out an album, just released a single with Christina Aguilera. Like, you would think that she's cool, but then she ODs. Like, it's a lot going on with people, especially in Trump's America.
Especially in Trump's America. I mean, this is the reason why I say support. And I absolutely agree with checking on anyone and across the board, like your friends, your family, everyone. Just check on someone. It's hot outside. Check on the older folks, like they say on the news. Like, communicate. But in between communication, you want to support each other. I've learned so much about my new family, and I want to support them in their music and whatever they want to do. I want to support them. So it's powerful. I think we come together. We can. Man, move more than mountains.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
So shout out to everything you're doing, A Natural.
Thank you.
You're brilliant. You're brilliant talent. I commend you on everything that you're doing. You're not trying. You did it.
Yes.
You done did it. You done did it. So I want to play another track. Which one do you want to rock with before we get out?
Let's play Get Back. I'm singing that tomorrow, so I'm really excited about that.
All right, so let's rock
Any
that.
background on Get Back before we go into the song?
Get Back was the first single from my last album. It was the first song that I wrote for the album. It features a sample that I got cleared by the amazing, talented B Slade, formerly known as Tone.
Nice.
The video is out for that. That was shot by my brother Lenny Harold. Get Back. Check it out.
Yeah.
What do you do when you got nothing left to say? Do you just shut down? Do you change your ways? When it's all done, do you just let it waste away? Or do you get back up and find the words to say? Like, I'm sorry, yeah. Cause girl, you was right, I was wrong. Can we find a way to move on? Like, I'm sorry, yeah. Cause girl, at the end of the day, I know that you're feeling the same, like you wanna get back. Hey. Don't you wanna get back? Hey. Let's get all that rowdy. Just give me that body. I know I've been naughty, but girl, I'm so sorry. Don't you wanna get back? Cause I wanna get back. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What do you do when they won't pick up the phone? And do you leave that message? Or do you leave it alone? What do you when she won't open up the door? And do you break it down? Or do you beg and moan? Like, I'm sorry, yeah. Can't believe that I've been such a fool. Nobody can love me like you, God, I'm sorry, yeah. I'm promising you better days. Please believe me when I say it, I wanna get back. Still don't wanna get back. Oh, yeah. Let's get good at riding. Just give me that body. I know I've been naughty, but girl, I'm so sorry. Don't you wanna get back? Yeah, cause I wanna get back. Oh, still don't wanna get back. Hey, can we get it on back to the way we used to be? Can we get it on back to the way we used to be? Can we get it on back to the way we used to be? To the way we used to be. Can we get it on back to the way we used to be? Can we get it on back to the way we used to be? Can we get it on back to the way we used to be? Get on back to the way, baby. Get it on back to the way we used to be. To the way we used to love. Can we get it on back to the way we used to be? To the way we used to be. I don't want nobody but you, baby. Girl, don't you wanna get back? I wanna get back.
Yeah. Welcome back. So, Mr. A Natural,
Yes, sir.
let the world know where they can find a brother.
So you can find me at anatural4ever.com, or all my social media is anatural4ever with the number 4 in the middle. So that's everything.
It's everything.
Yes.
Now, is there anything that you want to leave with us before?
Leave with
We
these young
depart.
kids.
Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, come out to these shows this weekend
Right.
because I definitely want to see some faces.
After we just done talked about support and come
Exactly.
support.
Come to the
Yes.
shows. Buy the music. Tell your friends about the music.
Yeah.
Stream it. Play it. Do whatever you need to do. I'm on everything: iTunes, Tidal, Spotify, all that. And then just again, do what you love and embrace what you do. Learn as much as you can, and then just be grateful for it.
Yeah. I like that. Listen, thank you. Once again, thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You got a lot going on, brother, and I'm here for it. We all here for it.
Thank you.
And this whole Grammy thing, like, just make sure we get some tickets to eventually.
Well, those tickets are pricey though, too.
I mean, we get a family discount, something, a little something. But that's what's up. Listen, thank you. Keep up the good work, Tati.
What's up?
I see the gym thing is working for you.
The what?
The gym thing is working
Oh,
for you.
really? You
so I
can
meant to
tell?
give you a compliment. You're doing
Aw,
your thing.
thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm
You're welcome.
trying.
Support. Listen, I want to shout out to all the fans. Thank you for tuning in. It's always good to chop it up on a Thursday night. Nocturnal Vibe Suite. Listen, hit up A Natural's website, Instagram, all that good stuff. Self-care, self-love is not selfish.
It's not selfish.
Stay in tune with yourself. That's what's up. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. It's Nocturnal
It's
Vibes.
only good for one of us, I guess, then I'm down. Blow it down, 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 blow it down. I guess I won't come around unless we're gonna blow it down, 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 blow it down. We fill up on fluid. Henny and Ciroc down to the end. Love is feeling lucid. Here we go again around this bend. And she's on the fence. Touching on my neck and feeling grown. And I'm dropping hints. But maybe she's too tired to catch these blows. And all I wanna do is love you. And all I wanna do is give you my time. But you don't really want it from me now. And we gotta touch each other. And we gotta hide the truth in these eyes, yeah. If it's only good for one of us, I guess that I'm down, yeah. Blow it down, blow it Watch it all blow down. Watch it all blow down. Blow it up, blow it up. Watch it all blow down. Oh yeah. You got my attention. Kiss me harder than you've ever done before. Make me believe the good intentions. I need your attention, yeah. Cause I'm vulnerable, and it's been such a long time since I felt wanted. Yeah. And I'm emotional. Can't you see that all this pain is what I've wanted? Lets me know that I'm alive, so let me believe tonight, yeah. Even if it ain't real tomorrow, tonight, please. Just let me believe tonight, yeah. Even if it ain't real tomorrow, even if it ain't real, whoa. I've been waiting for the moment when you finally answer yes to all of my questions. I got your attention, and although it's pitiful to see me settle for this kind of love, can take a rejection. I need your attention, cause I'm vulnerable, and it's been such a long time since I felt wanted. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm emotional. Can't you see that all this pain is what I wanted? Lets me know that please. If I'm fucking you in this dream, just let it be real tomorrow. Let it be real tomorrow. If you got your hands on my waist, then you only here for a taste, and you ain't got no time for games, then let it be real tomorrow. I hope you're still here tomorrow. Who cares if it ain't real? I love the way you feel, even if you ain't here tomorrow. Wish your morning was late tomorrow.